decided yet?
About what?
Oh, whether you're sad or glad to be back in Hong Kong.
Both. Glad to be seeing old friends again. Sad the visit has to be so short.
Stay another week?
I'd like to, Glenn. Tommy's a restless man.
Yeah, so I've noticed.
Hey, boy, come on, fill it right up to the brim. Bring us a couple of more bottles of champagne, will you?
Tommy, I thought we were leaving after this dance.
Well, isn't that just like a wife, huh? Wants to go home as soon as the husband's having a good time. Well, I'm not leaving. Have Evans or Roger here take you home, huh? Had plenty of practice in the old days.
Glenn and I may have taken her home, Tommy, but you married her.
Yeah. Yeah, I married her. And I'm still staying.
Glenn, would you mind taking me back to the hotel?
Oh, sure, I'd like to. Okay with you?
Of course. Why shouldn't it be all right? Something I shouldn't know?
Oh, Tommy.
Well, thanks for a very large evening, Tommy.
Por nada. Oh, don't forget the party at the hotel tomorrow night, huh?
No, I won't. Thanks a lot.
Good night. Night, Grace.
A toast. To me, Tommy Richmond, temporary bachelor.
Evans, I was afraid I'd missed you.
Miss me?
Well, I heard you were going to be here, and I wanted to have a few words with you.
Oh, some other time.
Now,
Oh, listen, Beaumont.
a very few words. Just stay out of my hair. Don't try to make any trouble for me, because I don't like it.
Why don't you just go inside?
Harry, please.
All right, honey. Evans, just be careful, huh?
Who's that?
Hurry, Beaumont.
What's the matter with him?
Oh, who cares? Stay here and I'll bring the car.
Disappointed. I'd hoped for a concussion at least.
Then there was a deliberate attempt to run you down.
Oh, somebody badly near the driving up there. See the car? Did anybody see the car?
Yeah, I think it was a taxi, black and very old. I couldn't be sure.
Where's the driver?
I don't know. It all happened so fast.
Let's go back to the hotel.
Still thinking about that taxi?
Oh, the cab? Oh, I've kind of figured it out. I probably undertipped some driver. They're a pretty vengeful lot, these Hong Kong taxi boys.
Then stop looking in that side view mirror and talk to me. Or have I lost all my appeal?
No. Same appeal. Maybe a little more.
Actually, a girl can't change too much in 4 years. Even though it does seem longer sometimes.
Because of Tommy?
I'd hope this trip around the world with him would help some. He gets so bored at home. There's nothing for him to do, really, except count all the money his father left him. He even has people to do that for him.
So he drinks.
And gets married. I'm wife number 4, you know. You know something, Glenn? When I was a bright-eyed young secretary at the vice consul here, I'd never believed that money could bore anyone.
But it is boring you?
Not yet. I still have fun buying anything I want. But Tommy's, well, he's just not the man I thought he was. No, I know now I'd have been much happier if I'd married someone else. Nightcap?
I'd love to, Grace. There's something I have to do.
Oh? Business at this time of night?
Yes, sort of.
It's probably just as well. Tommy's almost always psychopathic and suspicious of me when he's like this.
Well, we wouldn't want to upset old Tommy, would we? Good night.
Glenn? Be careful crossing the street. I'm sorry, Neil. Mr. Beaumont isn't here. He left about half an hour ago with Mr. Richmond and Mr. Harding.
What was he doing with them, eh?
Well, Mr. Richmond invited him to his table, and I guess they decided to make a night of it.
Do you know where they were going?
I have no idea. Is something wrong?
No, Chingay. We just want to have a word or two with Beaumont. Thank you.
Thanks, dear.
Sir? No one saw the license or the driver, but I've already sent out an alarm on the cab.
Well, thanks, Mr. Lee. No, I'll drive.
Yes, sir.
Black and old. You realize that describes half the cabs in Hong Kong?
I know. I'm beginning to feel like the boy who cried wolf. Could have been a drunken driver, you know.
Possibly. I still wouldn't mind if you requested police protection.
Now, wait a minute, Neil. Look, I'm talking to you because you asked me to, because something else may happen. I think we're blowing it up way too far.
Glenn, a week ago, your car brakes failed. 2 days ago, the gas heater in your apartment leaked, and tonight you were almost run down. Coincidence? Or perhaps you're merely becoming accident-prone.
I honestly don't know.
Well, I'm going to check into it, if you don't mind, including your Mr. Perry Beaumont.
Ah.
Don't you have any idea at all why he threatened you?
Look, I told you, I've dated some of the girls from his model agency, nothing else. But he's got to be up to something, or he wouldn't be so touchy.
Try to have you run down is a bit more than touchy, old boy. If it was Beaumont, I can still assign a man to you.
I'll tell you what, let's wait. If something else happens, I'll ask for a man, okay?
Provided it's not too late.
Okay.
I'll let you know if anything turns up.
Good night, Neil. Hold on.
Evans? Is that you, Evans?
Who is this?
Just someone who wants to congratulate you on your good luck. But it won't last. Next time you'll be dead.
Tommy. Tommy, wake up. Come on, Tommy, get up. Tommy?
Please, go away.
Well, as soon as you're awake. In case you've forgotten, we have a luncheon date with the Bronsons in Kowloon.
Oh, no. No.
I'll get you some coffee.
What time did I get home last night?
I don't know. I was asleep.
Asleep? Or still out with your boyfriend?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and Evans. What else?
He brought me home, and that's all. Drink this. Maybe you'll feel better.
What makes you think I want to feel better? Stop lying to me. You were out with him just as you have every night since we've been here. Is his apartment comfortable?
Tommy.
Miss Innocence, or should I say Mrs. Innocence? Only Mrs. Innocence wasn't home when Mr. Innocence called last night.
I was here. I just didn't answer the phone, that's all. Night before last, Roger Hardy brought me home, and the first night I came home with you.
Yes, and you sneaked out afterwards.
That isn't true.
I suppose it isn't true you're still in love with Evans.
No, I'm not, nor he with me. He'll tell you that himself.
Yeah, just like you told me you were not at his apartment when I called last night.
You called his apartment?
Yes, and he sounded pretty nervous about something. Is that when he told you to leave?
That explains it.
Explains what?
His message saying he couldn't come to the party tonight. Does that sound like love to you?
Grace! Grace! I want you to make sure that Evans does come tonight.
There's very little question, sir. The heater was tampered with.
You're right, Miss Swing.
My car breaks, too.
You still can't even guess whose voice it was on the phone?
No, I can't. I can't even tell if it was a man or a woman.
Have you talked to Perry Beaumont yet?
Yes, and got nowhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Glenn, accusing anyone of attempted murder is a very ticklish business with so little to go on. Yeah, we can't force him to talk, you know that.
You can't.
What?
What do you want me to do, sit around and wait for a really successful attempt on my life?
Have you thought of getting out of Hong Kong for a while?
You're really serious, aren't you?
Uh-huh. As a friend, I'd be much happier if you were out of harm's way.
No sale. Well, good morning.
Glenn, I've got to talk to you for a moment.
Sure, dear. Come on in. Grace, this is Chief Inspector Campbell. Mrs. Richmond.
How do you do?
Neil's an old friend of mine.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, I was just leaving. Goodbye.
See you, Neil. Trouble, huh?
Tommy. Oh, Glenn, he's gotten it into his head that we're having an affair.
Yeah, I thought as much. He called me last night.
He wants you to come to the party tonight. He asked me to make sure that you did.
Not a chance. I got enough trouble.
Please, Glenn, don't you see? If you don't come, he'll believe he's right about us, that you're afraid to face him. Please, Glenn, you've got to, for both our sakes.
Both us? Well, why mine?
Oh, he has a violent temper, Glenn. I told you how jealous he is. Please, there's no telling what he might do.
Why didn't you tell me this last night?
Well, I didn't really know how he felt then. I guess I should have. See, he's been jealous of you for a long time. Ever since I quarreled with him once, and I told him I wish I'd married you.
Well, that's just dandy.
Won't you please come? You've got to convince him he's wrong.
All right. I think I better talk to Tommy anyhow.
Thanks, Glenn. See you tonight.
Yeah. Hello, Indo-Asian Bank. Roger Hardy, please.
Roger Hardy speaking.
Roger, this is Glenn.
Well, hello, Glenn, old buddy. How are you? What's the matter? You need a loan?
What? No, thanks. I'm solvent. Listen, I want to ask you a question. How long were you with Tommy Richmond last night?
Oh, not long. I left about a half hour after you did when Tommy and Perry Beaumont decided to make an evening of it.
Well, what were they doing together? Did they know each other?
All I know is Beaumont and his girl were suddenly sitting at the table. No. No, they didn't say where they decided to go. Say, what's all this sudden interest in Perry Beaumont?
What? Haven't you ever seen any of Beaumont's models, Roger?
Would you do the walk back again, please? Now, I think you'll do just fine, Miss Chong. But before you change, I want to have some pictures made. It's just down at the end of the hall, past the dressing rooms. And would you send the next girl in, please? Yeah. Who? Oh, well, tell him I'm out.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that.
Will just be a minute, honey.
She can stay as far as I'm concerned.
You couldn't afford the charges.
I could save up.
You better save up your gags for your news stories. They might read a little better than they sound. Now, what's on your mind?
I got a hunch you know what's on my mind.
Well, I know that you've been trying to pump some of my girls. I know that I don't like it, or you, Evans. But I hear somebody else feels the same way. Is that right?
Who's that?
I don't know. Whoever it is that's trying to knock you off. And I might add that I can only wish them well.
You've been talking to Campbell, huh?
Yeah, I've been talking to Campbell, but I don't get all my news from the police.
Before we discuss where you do get it, I want to tell you one thing, buddy.
What's that?
If anything happens to me, you're a high man on Campbell's totem pole of suspects, so think it over.
Well, I got nothing to think over. Look, if I wanted to kill you, I wouldn't hire some broken-down cab driver to do it for me. So now that we understand each other, suppose you beat it.
Say the cab driver was hired. How'd you know that?
Did I say that? Now, look, I asked you very politely once to get out. Now, do I have to do it the hard way?
Who hired him, you?
Well, the hard way it is, then.
What do you know about that cab driver?
Nothing.
He was hired to run me down, wasn't he?
Look, I don't know.
Listen, Beaumont. We're talking about my life. Now, who hired him?
I don't know who hired him. I only heard that somebody hired this cab driver, and I don't know who it was.
What was his name?
I don't know. Evans,
Cab driver's name.
It was Lee Kang.
Where does he live?
I don't... Oh, Evan, will you let me... He lives at 7410 Bubbling Well Road.
Now, who hired the cab driver?
I don't know. I don't know. Evans.
Slow down, young fellow. They'll take your license away. Basic, fine wire.
I speak English.
Oh, you do, huh? Who taught you that?
My uncle cab driver. All cab drivers speak English. He teach me, so I can be cab driver too.
Uncle sounds like a pretty smart fella. Where is he? I'd like to talk to him.
He gone away.
Where'd he go?
Gone away. I do not know where.
When's he coming back? Hey, wait a minute. Hey, come here. Hey.
I thought you said Evans was going to be here by 7.
He'll be here, darling.
He'd better be, darling.
Well, what was all that about?
Nothing. Here come the ransoms. excuse me while I play hostess, will you?
All right, Grace. Now, Mrs. Richmond is something that I could use in my modeling agency.
Not a chance, Beaumont. Not a chance.
No, not if they're leaving Hong Kong tomorrow. Too bad I didn't meet Tommy sooner.
Well, you two must have become close friends last night, or you wouldn't be here at all.
Not as close as he and the doll that I was supposed to be with. Excuse me.
Yep.
You alone? Excuse us.
Hi, old buddy.
Well, hello, Glenn boy.
Quite a shindig, huh?
Yeah, when'd you arrive?
Just this minute. What's Beaumont doing here?
Claims he was invited. Oh, by the way, Tommy's been looking for you.
Oh, has he? Well, where is he?
Over there. Pretty hot under the collar about something.
See you.
Yep.
I certainly envy you and Grace, Mr. Richmond. But then, after all, what is life but a sickness? Each day brings us nearer to death. Hello, young man. I was just saying that
Are they going to think you weren't going to show up?
I suppose you can be wrong, doesn't it?
Things in it, if you might say so.
I want to talk to you.
All right, it's not quite the time, is it?
Mr. Richmond,
Don't try to stall me. I want to talk to you now.
I suppose I'm a hedonist, or is it hedonist?
Let's go somewhere a little more private.
I suppose it really matters very
No
much.
linen in public, eh? All right,
please
let's wash
wait.
it out there.
There we are, thank you.
Now, look, before you say anything you're going to be very sorry for, there is no dirty linen to wash.
You're a liar.
Richmond, Grace and I were nothing but good friends even before you came on the scene.
You're a liar.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not finished talking to you yet.
Look, don't do that. You're loaded.
Of course I'm loaded. I don't like being taken for a sucker, though. Nobody does that to me.
What do you do? Have him killed?
Glenn, are you out there?
Yeah. You're out of here tonight, dear. He's in no condition to talk to anybody these days.
Tommy! 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 Tommy!
I see. Well, thank you just the same, Doctor. Righto. Not much help yet from the police surgeon, I'm afraid. The bullets glanced off a rib before entering the heart. Which means that until we get a more thorough examination, we can't tell from its path whether it was fired down or up or straight ahead. And even then, we might not be certain.
So it could have come from any room in the south wing?
Precisely.
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Cliff.
it would take less than 2 minutes to reach any south wing room, fire escape or roof from here.
Thank you.
Now, for the 5th time, Inspector. I told you I was sitting right here, drink in hand, minding my own business.
Pretty odd nobody saw you, Beaumont.
Now, look, if I'd known that Richmond was going to get killed, don't you think I would have made sure that everybody in the place saw me?
Unless you were in the south wing doing the killing yourself.
I'm not a track man, you know. I mean, I just don't move that fast. Besides, why would I want to kill Richmond? I hardly knew him. Oh, I get it. You think that the bullet was meant for Evans. Is that it?
It would have caught him in the back
If I hadn't called to him.
You mean the killer was after Glenn and got Tommy by mistake?
No, you don't. Now, you let everybody else go. They didn't have to prove where they were.
None of them even knew Evans.
You must remember seeing me, Mrs. Richmond. You passed right by me. Come on, try to remember.
I was standing over there talking to Roger. He told me that Tommy and Glenn were out on the balcony talking, so I walked over there. I could have passed you, but I don't remember seeing you or not seeing you, Mr. Beaumont.
You don't?
For the simple reason that you weren't there, Beaumont.
Well, what are you going to do now? Charge me with murder? You're going to need more than this to hold me, and you know it.
All right, Beaumont, you may leave.
I can. Thank you. I'm sorry about your husband, Mrs. Richmond.
What's the matter with you, Neil? Are you going to let him get...
Mr. Ling, put a man on Beaumont, 24-hour surveillance.
Yes, sir.
Inspector, if you're through now,
Of course. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Good night.
I think we all ought to go. Grace, are you all right?
Yes, thank you, Roger. I'm fine.
Will you wait for me downstairs? Grace, dear, I don't know quite how to say this, but I feel if I hadn't come tonight...
Oh, Glenn, you had no way of knowing what was going to happen. Please don't blame yourself for Tommy's death.
I'm terribly sorry.
So am I. Funny, all I can think of now is how much more I could have given him.
Cab driver.
Obviously. You know Detective Wong, don't you?
Sure I do. How are you?
Hi, Glenn.
My night nurse, huh?
Uh-huh. Until you take that vacation we talked about. You'll be relieved at 8 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you know if anything develops, Glenn.
All right.
Good night.
I'll go in first, Glenn, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
I'll take a look around.
Hello.
You're still interested in information about that cab driver?
Who's this?
This is Perry Beaumont. Look, I don't want to get hooked for something I didn't do. So if the only way that I can get out of it is to help you, well, you listening?
You had a chance to talk to Campbell?
Sure. I had a chance to be a stool pigeon. Now you know what that would do to my reputation. Now listen, I can give you some information, but only if you keep my name out of it.
What kind of information?
There's a Chinese seaman. He works on a junk between here and Macau. Now, that seaman also happens to be the cab driver's cousin. Now, are you interested?
Go on.
Now, he's not friendly to cops, so if they drag him in, he's going to clam up. But he just might have something to tell you.
Why me?
Because he likes money. In fact, he likes money more than he likes his cousin.
Where can I find him?
You keep my name out of it?
All right.
There's a little bar down on Bunda Street. Shark Fin Cafe.
This and I were nothing but good.
We will sit here, Mr. Evans.
You're the cab driver's cousin?
You got 500 Hong Kong dollars?
You know where I can find Lee Kang?
He is in hiding.
Where?
You got 500 Hong Kong dollars?
Where?
I don't know where,
You what?
but I know why. Very interesting to you, Mr. Evans.
And $500 interesting.
He was paid to hide.
Like he was paid to run me down.
That is the interesting thing, Mr. Evans. He was paid not to run you down.
Not to run me down.
He was paid merely to miss you with his cab. My cousin told me this because he thought it so funny. To be paid not to kill someone. Does this mean something to you, Mr. Evans?
Yes, it might. It just might.
That sounds absolutely fantastic, Glenn. Why would anyone do such a thing?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Me?
Did Tommy have any enemies in Hong Kong?
Enemies? Tommy? He led a dissolute life, Glenn, but he never hurt anyone. Besides, he's only been here twice in his life.
Grace, let's just suppose something. Let's suppose somebody wanted to kill Tommy. So a week or so before Ty arrives in Hong Kong, this somebody acts like he wants to kill me. He tampers with the car brakes, knowing that I can use the handbrake. The heater in the room, knowing the gas won't kill me because the windows are open. And the cab driver and the phone call.
I mean, all this to kill Tommy?
Well, see the pattern. When Tommy is killed, the police think it's a mistake. They think I was the target. So they start looking for the wrong set of suspects. My enemy's not Tommy's.
I see. Well, what does Inspector Campbell say?
He listened, that's all.
Why are you telling me?
I thought you might know somebody who had it in for Tommy. Or somebody who stood to gain by his death.
I seem to fit both those headings, don't I? Isn't that what you're thinking, Glenn?
Just tell me I'm wrong, that's all I want to hear.
Just how do you think I could manage the car brakes and the heater when Tommy and I happened to be in Japan at that time?
The police would say you hired somebody to do it, I suppose.
The same somebody I hired to kill Tommy out on the balcony, is that it? Only wouldn't that be a little foolish of me, Glenn, to lay myself open for blackmail for the rest of my life?
Tommy's millions are plenty for blackmail, Grace.
Tommy's millions? Oh, that is so funny. Have you been in touch with his lawyers back in Boston lately?
No.
Well, they'd be only too happy to tell you about his will. It leaves his widow exactly what he gave his divorced wives, a $10,000 settlement, nothing more. We agreed to that before we were married. So you see, alive, Tommy was worth an awful lot of money to me. But dead, only $10,000.
Grace?
Hello? I want to place a call to the United States, please. Boston, Massachusetts.
Grace?
You'll have your proof in 2 minutes.
Grace, you don't have to call them. I believe you.
I want you to be sure. Hello, operator.
Operator, forget it. I'm sorry. Oh, please forgive me, Grace. I had to find out.
Glenn, it's just that I'm so upset anyway with Tommy's death, and you to even think.
I guess I need that vacation they're trying to force me to take.
Would you excuse me now? I've got so many things to do.
If there's anything I can do to help, will you let me know? Please don't. Let's be bad friends.
All right.
Want to seal the peace with dinner?
I'd like that.
See you at 6:30?
What do you think?
You were great. But there's that loose end to tie up.
Read that. A cable from my boss in the States ordering me to a 6-month-long assignment in Addis Ababa because he's frightened I might get killed in Hong Kong.
You're to leave at 8 in the morning.
Gives me plenty of time, doesn't it? Addis Ababa.
They tell me it gets rather warm there in summer. Oh, I'm sure it's for the best, Glenn. After all, I don't want you killed either, you know.
Look, what if it's all a mistake? What if I'm not the target? What if I never was?
Now, we've been through that already. According to Richmond solicitors in Boston, nobody stands to gain from his death except the State University, which rather scotches your wrong target theory.
How do you explain the cab driver being paid to miss me?
I'm not so sure he was. We'll get that answer when we find him, and we will find him, Glenn. I can assure you of that.
Oh, sure, and that'll take weeks, and meanwhile I'm in Addis Ababa. Did you check at the house again?
Yes, we've questioned the little boy and the old lady twice.
Old lady? You didn't tell me anything about an old lady.
The cab driver's mother. She's looking after the little boy.
You talked to her?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she says she doesn't know where her son is, and I'm inclined to believe her.
Maybe I better talk to her.
Oh, Glenn, there's no point to it, really.
What? Look, Neil, I got a few hours, and I'm going to use them. I'll see you.
I already talked to the police 2-3 times.
But I'm not from the police. Look, don't you understand? I don't want to harm your son. I want to help him.
I don't know where he is.
Well, could you get word to him? Look, when he took money for frightening me with his taxi cab, it was something anyone who needed money might do. But now that a man has died, it's very important that he tell who paid him to do this.
I know nothing.
Look, it's for your sake that I've come, and for your son's sake. The police right now are questioning a man who knows where your son is hiding. And if he doesn't give himself up before they find him, he'll go to prison for a long time.
So that's where he is, huh?
No. He's not here. It's the wrong number. It's the wrong place. He's not here. Will you go away?
Mucho.
Please. He has harmed no one. Please listen to me.
Miss Bestie, tell the police about it. Mucho.
Please.
Mucho.
Machinlia. Akian.
Find anything, Mr. Ling?
Not yet, sir. I've looked through everything I could find. How's the woman?
Well, she's in no condition to answer questions. She's with her son's body. I'm terribly sorry, son. Do you think you could answer some questions for me?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you know who paid your uncle the money?
No, sir.
Did your uncle ever tell you anything about the man who hired him?
Only that many years ago, before my uncle became taxi man, my uncle and man worked in the same building.
And what building was this?
I was little boy. I do not remember.
Sorry? Was your uncle ever a porter in the building?
I do not know. What is porter?
Man who wears a jacket like that. Look at this, man. Maybe you should talk to Roger Hardy, huh?
No, Roger, I'm sure Glenn believed me. I'm positive of it.
What if he does? We still have to make another attempt on his life. We have to convince the police that Tommy's death was an accident. Now, if we don't, Grace, we'll never be able to produce that new will that Tommy wrote in Paris. We'll never be able to get married without being charged with murder.
Killing Glenn.
Now, listen, Grace. I don't want to kill Glenn any more than I killed that taxi cab driver. It's either his life or ours. Now, take your choice.
What do you want me to do?
More coffee?
Yes, thank you.
Well, I've got some news. I've been saving it. They found the cab driver who tried to run me down.
Oh? When did they find him?
About an hour ago. He was dead.
They know who killed him?
I didn't say it was murder.
I just assumed. It's a logical conclusion, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, they found him, and they don't know who killed him.
Glenn, I guess I'm a little more tense than I thought I was. It's awfully noisy in here. Couldn't we go somewhere else? Where we could be alone?
Anywhere you say.
Hope you didn't mind my suggesting we come to your apartment for a nightcap.
Not at all. Just like old times, huh?
Beautiful view, Glenn.
You're still pretty fond of Roger, aren't you?
Yes, of course. Why?
I always thought in the old days you were really in love with him. I know he thought so.
I think I was in love with everybody in those days.
You really went to pieces when you married Tommy. Do you know that?
What are you driving at?
Oh. Somebody killed Tommy. I know it wasn't you.
You mean Roger? Why, he was in the room with me when it happened.
Yes, I know. That's what you told the police.
That's the truth.
Hello.
Everything all right, then?
Who's it? Neil? Yeah, you're fine. What's on your mind?
Roger Hardy has disappeared. Well, we'll find him. And incidentally, your friend, Perry Beaumont, is going out of circulation.
What did you find out?
Extortion rackets. Pretty girls, wealthy tourists, photographs. The Badger game, I believe you call it.
So it was Roger after all, huh?
No. Perry Beaumont, that's who I'm talking about, not Hardy.
Did Hardy say why he killed him?
I see. Right then, I'll just listen. Good luck with it.
Yes, I see. Yes, she's here with me now. Yes, I'll tell her. was, Roger.
I can't believe that.
Look, he's confessed. Now, why did you give him the alibi? What do you think you were trying to do, Grace? Protect an old friend?
No, Glenn,
You lied about his not leaving the room, didn't you? Grace? Look, give yourself a chance. Unless you admit you lied, you'll be accessory to murder.
They can't have Roger. They can't.
What do you mean they can't? Why can't they?
Because he's here, Glenn. I borrowed the key to the service door when I fixed your heater. Now get out on the balcony.
Now, wait a minute, Roger. There's a police guard outside. One shot and he'll be...
He won't hear a thing. Take my word for it. Not for a while, anyway. Besides, I'm not planning on shooting you. Now get out there, Glenn.
Another accident, huh?
I'm sorry, Glenn. We never intended to hurt you, not in the beginning.
That's true.
Now, look. What if I promise not to say anything about this?
No chance, Glenn. Now, for the last time, the balcony.
You gonna let him do this? Campbell knows you with me, you know.
That's right, Roger. He does.
We'll cover that. Grace? Grace?
Straighten up, Hardy. Dead. Gone. All that money gone.
Scotch, please.
Hi.
You better make it two. Well, for a chap who's just discovered that no one's out to kill him after all, he's just been reprieved from going to one of the warmest climates in the world and who has the beauty of Hong Kong staring him in the face, you seem rather glum, to say the least. Well, your assignment to Addis Ababa has been cancelled, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Read that.
2-week emergency assignment for you in Nome, Alaska. They tell me it gets rather cold up there. Cheers, old boy.
Cheers. Well, have you decided yet?
About what?
Oh, whether you're sad or glad to be back in Hong Kong.
Both. Glad to be seeing old friends again. Sad the visit has to be so short.
Stay another week?
I'd like to, Glenn. Tommy's a restless man.
Yeah, so I've noticed.
Hey, boy, come on, fill it right up to the brim. Bring us a couple of more bottles of champagne, will you?
Tommy, I thought we were leaving after this dance.
Well, isn't that just like a wife, huh? Wants to go home as soon as her husband's having a good time when I'm not leaving. Have Evans or Roger here take you home, huh? Had plenty of practice in the old days.
Glenn and I may have taken her home, Tommy, but you married her.
Yeah. Yeah, I married her. And I'm still staying.
Glenn, would you mind taking me back to the hotel?
Oh, sure, I'd like to. Okay with you?
Of course. Why shouldn't it be all right? Something I shouldn't know?
Oh, Tommy.
Well, thanks for a very large evening, Tommy.
Por nada. Oh, don't forget the party at the hotel tomorrow night, huh?
No, I won't. Thanks a lot.
Good night. Good night. Night, Grace.
A toast. To me, Tommy Richmond, temporary bachelor.
Evans, I was afraid I'd missed you.
Miss me?
Well, I heard you were going to be here, and I wanted to have a few words with you.
Oh, some other time.
Now,
Oh, listen, Beaumont.
very few words. Just stay out of my hair. Don't try to make any trouble for me, because I don't like it.
Why don't you just go inside?
Harry, please.
All right, honey. Evans, just be careful, huh?
Who's that?
Hurry, Beaumont.
What's the matter with him?
Oh, who cares? Stay here and I'll bring the car.
I think so.
Disappointed. I'd hoped for a concussion at least.
Then there was a deliberate attempt to run you down.
Well, somebody badly near the driving up there. See the car? Did anybody see the car?
Yeah, I think it was a taxi, black and very old. I couldn't be sure.
About the driver?
I don't know. It all happened so fast.
Well, let's go back to the hotel.
Still thinking about that taxi?
Oh, the cab? No, I've kind of figured it out. I probably under-tipped some driver. They're a pretty vengeful lot, these Hong Kong taxi boys.
Then stop looking in that side view mirror and talk to me. Or have I lost all my appeal?
No. Same appeal. Maybe a little more.
Actually, a girl can't change too much in 4 years. Even though it does seem longer sometimes.
Because of Tommy?
I'd hope this trip around the world with him would help some. He gets so bored at home. There's nothing for him to do, really, except count all the money his father